horror story of a 23-year-old girl called Vinodhini, whose life has been disrupted by a stalker who poured acid on her, disfigured her, and literally took away her life. Well, the 23-year-old BTech graduate from Chennai had got a job in Puducherry when a construction worker started stalking her and threatening her when she spurred his advances, finally throwing acid on her, causing severe burns. Well, Vinodhini is now battling severe burns to her head, chest and stomach and has lost vision in both her eyes, although neither she nor her distraught parents know about the severity of these injuries. Well, Vinodhini was admitted to a private hospital in Karaikal in Puducherry after the acid attack, and she was later shifted to Chennai, where she is now under a close watch as she may develop septicemia as well and is prone to infections. Well, this is what really happened on November 14th. And our correspondent Priyamvada
We are
gets us
joined
up
by
to date.
Dr. Jairaman, head of the Department of Burns in Keelpark Hospital here in Chennai. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Sir, how is the condition of Vinodhini now?
Vinodhini's condition is stable. She is conscious. She answers all the questions, and she basically, she is doing okay.
And what is her condition? With what condition she was admitted here? What exactly had happened to her?
No, she was admitted with chemical burn. That somebody threw acid on her and another person were walking along the road, and some unknown person threw acid, probably sulfuric acid, on both of them. So she lose both the eyes, and probably we have to reconstruct later.
Is there a possibility of getting her vision back? What is needed?
No, she won't get her vision back because both the eyes are damaged.
How long will this process take, and how big a task is this?
Now, this process will take, to rehabilitate her, it will take at least 6 months to 1 year, because the after grafting, her eye sockets have to be made normal, and then the artificial eyes have to be inserted.
So the entire is there anything needed for her, for the cost wise, the money wise, or is everything being taken care of?
That's what, money wise, she need not spend anything here because everything is free with the Tamil Nadu government, and I appreciate, and it is advantage of being in the government because everything is taken care of, even if it is going to be lakhs of rupees, because for her to be rehabilitated, it will take at least 10 lakhs for her if it is done outside.
Also, what is needed for her right now? What exactly is her requirement?
I mean, her requirement as such is nothing, but she needs to be helped with someone by the side of her. That's all.
How painful would this entire process of any kind of acid burn would be? What she would have gone through? I mean, Vinodhini.
No, initially, due to the chemical, there will be a lot of burning pain. That burning pain will be there at least for a week or so, and after the entire thing, subsides, then the pain won't be there. But the only thing is the pulling type of pain will be there. That will take some time to settle.
Now let's reconstruct what really happened on that fateful day. Well, Vinodhini was on her way back to Chennai with her father and a friend when her stalker, the construction worker Suresh, poured acid on her, injuring her dad as well. Now, before she fell, the courageous girl, however, managed to spit some acid back on her attacker, injuring him, but not as seriously as she herself was. Can the Puducherry police be excused for their criminal negligence, especially after they ignored Vinodhini's complaint about the stalker Suresh and his repeated threats? Well, Vinodhini's attacker has been arrested and has now been charged under Section 307, but there is growing clamour for the strictest possible punishment for him, and even humiliating him in public is one of the demands. Well, let's listen into what NCW chairperson Mamta Sharma has to say about the shocking story coming in from Chennai.
देखिए, मेरा कहना इस पे ये कि लॉ ऑलरेडी बने हुए हैं, लेकिन उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना गवर्नमेंट का काम, और कहीं ना कहीं गवर्नमेंट की इग्नोरेंस है जिसकी वजह से ये हो रहा है. तो पुलिस और गवर्नमेंट, और जिसे कहना चाहिए कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड पुलिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, दोनों का काम है कि इसको स्ट्रिक्टली लॉ को इम्प्लीमेंट करें और जब तक आप इनको ठीक से गिरफ्तार करके और पनिश नहीं करेंगे, तब तक मैं नहीं समझती कि कोई आउटपुट सामने आ पाएगा। तो लॉ को स्ट्रेंथन करने से काम नहीं चलेगा, जो ऑलरेडी लॉ है उनको इम्प्लीमेंट करने से काम चलेगा।
मैम, देयर शुड बी सम रिहैबिलिटेशन फॉर सच विक्टिम्स।
बिल्कुल, हम लोगों ने ऑलरेडी ये रिकमेंडेशंस भेजी हुई हैं कि जो एसिड अटैक है ये बिल्कुल मर्डर की तरह है। मर्डर में तो फिर भी वो खत्म हो जाता है, लेकिन इसमें तो वो जिंदगी में रहने लायक ही नहीं होता, ना इधर का ना इधर का। तो इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट को स्पेशली कोई ना कोई रिलीफ देना चाहिए और रिहैबिलिटेट करना चाहिए। और मैं तो ये कहूंगी कि इनके ट्रीटमेंट का जो एक्सपेंसेस है वो गवर्नमेंट को बेयर करने चाहिए।
My last question: as the NCW chief, will your commission actually take a stand on this? Will they do something for people like Archana who have just?
हम लोग ऑलरेडी कर रहे हैं, हमने कोई कमी नहीं छोड़ी हुई है। जहां भी इस तरह के मेजर केसेस होते हैं हम कॉग्निजेंस भी लेते हैं, एटीआर भी सीख करते हैं, और खास तौर से ऐसे केसेस में टीम भी जाती है, इंक्वायरी टीम भी जाती है। तो एनसीडब्ल्यू ने कोई पार्ट छोड़ा हो ऐसा नहीं है, लेकिन जब तक एक तो सोसाइटी का माइंडसेट चेंज हो, गवर्नमेंट उसको उस पे एक्शन ठीक से करे, उसके बिना काम नहीं चलेगा।
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Well, joining us with the very latest now is our correspondent Priyamvada, who's been tracking these developments in Chennai very closely. Well, Priyamvada, first of all, is there an update on her health? How is Vinodhini doing? And is she aware of the gravity of her own injuries?
Well, as of now, her condition is stable, as in her life is safe, but literally her normalcy, getting back to normalcy is going to take 1 year. But the sad part is she's lost vision in both her eyes, and there is no way that it can be repaired, or there is no way that the doctors can do anything about it. Sadly, Vinodhini and her parents are not aware about this, the extent of damage that has happened. Vinodhini has no clue. She's assuming that she's still undergoing treatment. That is the reason why she's not able to open her eyes and see things around. She's hoping that the doctors would very soon be able to restore her vision. But doctor has very clearly told us that vision cannot be restored because cornea is damaged in both her eyes. And when cornea is damaged, obviously there is nothing that can be done to restore her vision. As of now, Vinodhini is hoping that she'll come back, she will get her vision back, she can start her life again. But looks like it's far from reality.
Well, it is a spine-chilling story which is coming in. Stay with us, Priyamvada. We are also joined on the phone line by Nafisa Ali, social activist. Ma'am, what do you make when a story like this comes ahead in 21st century India? It is, after all, our barbaric reality.
You know, that has met cases, women affected by acid throwing. It is a murder of a living person. The girls go through extensive, continuous, lifelong trauma.
Absolutely.
This poor girl is going to live a life of from a beautiful girl into a girl who can never see, a girl who will be unfortunately, she won't be able to even see how she looks, how gross and horrible it is, how disfiguring and how degree. I mean, it's just so sad, and you can't say that you can treat a patient and they'll be okay in a year. It is the skin graft, the facial reconstruction, the continuous process, the expenses. The government tires of it. Within a few months, a few people help out. This poor girl is going to be living this expense or this burden for lifelong. And the law, when the law is there to protect women such as this man, whoever this stalker was, who thought he could get his way, and after he couldn't get her attention, took revenge on her, must be treated as a murderer, should be arrested, and all such cases in India should be dealt with severe penalties, so that this type of behavior is discouraged in civil society, because it is the most. I mean, how dare a man? How can a person think that if I want somebody, and if that person is not with me, let me throw acid and get over it. I mean, it's just horrible. I can't tell you how it affects the lives of girls. And unfortunately, government is not acting in its all strength and capacity. The parliament should ensure, the state government should ensure that there, right now, at least if there is a threat of dowry harassment or there is immediate action, there should be women's cells where the man should be arrested and locked up for good. For good. No bail. It's a non-bailable offense. If a man throws acid and disfigures a woman and harms her bodily, physically, emotionally, then the man is treated as a murderer and it should be locked away.
Well, thank you, ma'am, for joining us with your perspective on that story. The most unfortunate part of all of this is this is not a stray incident. This is not an isolated incident. Remember, Headlines Today has been holding a campaign to bring justice for Sonali Mukherjee as well. Another acid attack victim. Her attackers, remember, still roam free. Let's listen to what she had to say. What were her first thoughts when we told her about this another barbaric attack on yet another innocent girl?
मुझे ये सुनकर इतनी अफसोस होती है, मुझे इतना दुख होता है जब मैं ये सब सुनती हूँ। ऐसी घटनाएं रोज हो रही हैं, मेरे लिए ये सब बर्दाश्त करना बड़ा मुश्किल होता है, क्योंकि मैंने ये सब देखा है, सुना है, झेला है, सहा है, उस दर्द को महसूस किया है। जब किसी के ऊपर दोबारा तेजाब डाला जाता है तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है मुझसे एक बार फिर से हमला हुआ, मैं फिर से दोबारा जली और मैं उस दर्द को महसूस कर रही हूँ। बहुत तकलीफ भरा है। मुझे आश्चर्य है कि अभी तक सरकार जागी नहीं है, प्रशासन दुरुस्त नहीं है, लोगों में खौफ नहीं है शायद किसी चीज का, प्रशासन का, कानून का डर बिल्कुल हट गया है, कोई सबक नहीं मिलता है उस तरह से। इसी वजह से ऐसी घटनाएं हो रही हैं रोज और हम सुन रहे हैं।
Well, Purnima Advani now joins us on the phone line. Ma'am, we just heard Sonali Mukherjee as well. Unfortunately, this case of Vinodhini's is not a stray incident. Why is it that India sees cases day after day of such barbaric attacks on women?
You see, it is so unfortunate that there should be, forget the lack of political will, but no political will at all to ensure that women are safe in this country. I remember in 2005, it was July of 2004, I'm going way back, so many years, when as chairperson of the commission, National Commission for Women, I was traveling to Shimla. And there, when we reached, we heard of this awful attack on a girl because she was not available for the man who wanted her, and he decided to throw acid. And there was halloo in the state. We visited the girl in the hospital, and it was a life. Of course, we had then corresponded with the chief minister, the health minister, ensured all the treatment. That is all we could do. There was no way we could give her the face she had or the life she had. It was ruined. And right from then, or much prior to that also, this is just a story I'm pegging on, an incident I'm pegging on, that women's organizations through the length and breadth of the country have been crying hoarse time and again that there should be quick implementation in such cases. Every time there is a loud voice, the government will say, yes, the laws have to be looked into, they require fresh legislation. But for every incident, you do not require fresh legislation. You see, you have the Indian Penal Code, which is there from 1860 in this country. It has all the possible provisions under the sky.
Absolutely, ma'am, but the problem is that Section 307, under which this man has been arrested, unfortunately, that will only give him 10 years in prison. Is that enough? Well, Purnima Advani, thank you so much for joining us with your perspective on that story.